Married women in TikTok is just a recipe for disaster. And really the reason why is because they just have too much access to advice from miserable single women. And it's funny because the old trope used to be, if a woman divorces her husband, what did he do wrong? What did you do so wrong that made your wife want to divorce you? But these women who are filing for these divorces are now getting on TikTok and they're saying the quiet part out loud. They're not getting these divorces because they're being abused or that their husbands are habitual cheaters. They're getting these divorces because they say that they're bored, they say that they want to find their own happiness, or they just don't get the same butterflies that they once used to. This video is about the funny part, the part where they have to actually start paying bills and they realize that life isn't free because your husband isn't sponsoring it anymore. These are the types of ladies that blame their unhappiness on everything around them except for themselves, so they changed everything. They got rid of their husband, they got rid of their old life, they moved into a new apartment, and they're still miserable. And now that they're alone, they start to realize that after you got rid of everything and you're still miserable, the only common denominator is you. Your marriage wasn't the problem, you were. Why some women are admitting divorce regret. Let's go ahead and get right into the video.
So I'm noticing a pretty disturbing divorce trend happening right now. And that's where you have a woman, right? And she decides to get a divorce to find her happiness, find herself.
Yeah.
Is usually the reason.
Yeah, and we all know what that means. When they say they're going to find themselves, it never means they're going to get involved with the church, become sober, start doing charity work, maybe lose 30 pounds and really start to get themselves back together. Finding yourself is always somehow a euphemism for doing hoe shit.
So she goes through happy phase. And happy phase is where you know what she's doing. Like, we all know what she's doing, right?
Exactly.
So she gets out of happy phase. She realizes that dating now is harder, or that, hey, my life isn't as comfortable as it used to be. And now she goes into regret.
Yeah.
The way she seems to do it is she'll go online and find sympathy. If there's one thing I've noticed, it always seems, maybe this is just what I've seen, but I've noticed that women that are in groups tend to be single. It's almost as if women do keep each other single.
Of course,
and there's
yeah.
that whole thing going around right now where the saying that women keep each other single. And I think it's, at least what I'm seeing, I think it's true.
Yeah.
So I want to show you an example.
How did I know it was time to end my marriage? Number one question from women in my DMs. I'm gonna get into some pretty heavy topics in this video, so just a trigger warning. I'd say about a year before I requested a separation, started to feel my sense of self slip away. Having disassociations multiple times throughout the day, started having extreme senses of deja vu. Since learned through therapy that it can actually be a sign of anxiety, and I think I just didn't recognize it in my body because I just didn't want to acknowledge what was happening.
Sure.
Be driving around the Bay Area, a place that I have been wanting to leave for so long. I remember I would just have these moments in my car just being like, what are you doing? Why are you here? Almost like putting myself in the multiverse, Spideyverse, like this is not the universe that you're supposed to be in.
Now imagine if me as a man went on a TikTok and said I deserted my wife because I wasn't happy. I would be ridiculed into oblivion.
I felt like I had no energy by the things that brought me joy. I feel like all these emotions and all these things were compounding. And I called my mom and I just told her, like, I am so depressed. I don't recognize myself. Don't have any hope for the future. I just feel so down. That she was like, you need to come home. I never want to feel to the point that I'm that hopeless, that I have nothing to look forward to. I feel like I can't get out of bed every day. The hardest thing for me to admit is that I am at rock bottom right now. No idea what the future is going to look like, but I know there is one. And I know there is one that I'm going to be excited about. And I know I'm going to look back at this time and be like, wow, if you got through that, you can get through anything. You're losing yourself to the point that you don't even recognize yourself anymore. It makes sense to start questioning if this is the path you want.
So as you see, she's clearly unhappy and doesn't want to be married anymore.
Right.
But what she's doing is she's associating her unhappiness with her marriage instead of looking at herself and...
Well, the problem is she's associating marriage with happiness, and marriage isn't about happiness. It's about providing stability for children. Marriage is hard, and like anything that's hard, if you only want to engage with it when you're happy, then you will have no longevity in it. If I only wanted to work out when I was happy, I would never be strong. If I only wanted to make YouTube videos when I was happy, then I wouldn't have a big channel, because you have to be willing to do things when you're unhappy in order for you to have longevity in it. Marriage isn't about happiness. That was an idea made by corporations to convince working class men to buy their wives pointless shit.
Seeing if maybe there's something that she's doing that's making her unhappy. So here's the first phase, right? So now she gets a divorce. And then this other thing happens too, right? Where a woman starts, like when she starts feeling unhappy and she needs that validation to get divorced, she'll go online.
Yep.
That is the quickest way to get a validation for your divorce.
Yeah.
And I have another video planned where I want to show more of that. But so she'll go online and she'll get validation just like that
Yep.
to get a divorce. So let me show you what happens when they realize they made a mistake.
I'm really starting to question if I made the biggest mistake of my life. I wanted to post how I'm feeling because, wow, the highs are great, but the lows are really low. In 1 month since I moved into my apartment, and this is my second week on my job, now that things are quiet, I'm finding myself reflecting a lot. It just feels so painfully uncomfortable. I
Yeah.
was questioning everything. I'm really trying to force myself to remember how bad things were and how bad things got repeatedly for me to get to this point. I think I'm just having a really hard time being back at square one. I'm not cry, I cannot afford to buy more eyelash serum right now. Being a wife, being in a relationship, it feels so natural to me. Like putting myself out there, being single, dating, doesn't at all. That I think I thought moving to my hometown would be really good for me recovery wise, but I'm just finding it's not. Really thought I would have family support moving here and finding that that's not the case.
Yeah, you don't have family support because you're 40 years old and everybody in your family probably has their own family that they have to attend to. Not only that, but they know you. They know your character. They know that you're the problem. They just don't want to tell you. If you wanted family support, you should have got that from your family instead of separating your family.
It's been a really tough pill to swallow to realize I'm kind of on an island. I know so many people would die at the opportunity to have no strings attached and travel and start over and date a bunch of people, but that's just not my personality. I'm $10,000 in debt from all of this. Like, I don't know where people are just getting money to do all this stuff. I have 2 dogs that are quite literally the only things making me feel sane right now. Point, I'm just really questioning, like, if I'm ever meant to have like a normal, happy life, which maybe.
Imagine saying all of this after you already had a normal family. She's saying that she's on an island, but she doesn't even understand that she put her husband on an island, or at least her ex-husband. And she has to understand that not only did she decide to split up her family, she got to plan and make steps into the point where she did so. Her husband was probably just blindsided. He probably didn't even know that she was miserable. And then one day she just came along and said she wanted a divorce. Now imagine how he must feel. By the way, notice that she never talked about anything that he may have done wrong. And I guarantee you, if he did do anything wrong, she would be talking about it. So she's just blaming everybody for circumstances that she caused.
Sounds dramatic. I just feel like the things that come really natural to other people are just so hard for me. I feel like I'm not asking that much. Like, I just want a normal life. I want to have kids, want to be married, and it just feels like that's not in the cards for me. It's just really
She was already
interesting 'cause
married.
I feel like the swings of emotion with this have been so drastic. Days like today where I feel dead inside. Like, I'm crying all the time on TikTok and now my eyes are just like dead again. Multiple people in my life have told me I'm icy, and I'm just like, literally, what do you want me to fucking say to that? If you're feeling like me at any point, I just encourage you to go through my divorce playlist and look at any of the comments from people. I'm doing that on a regular basis, and you guys have helped me so much. I don't know, I just want to be honest today because, again, like a few days ago I was feeling pretty good. Today I feel horrible.
Yeah, so she realized she had it good and she threw it all away. Now she's not going to say that she was wrong, even though she was. So consequences. You make choices, you got to deal with the consequences. What are you going to do? So then this happens.
Oh no. She went off the
Yeah,
deep
she
end.
promotes divorce.
Yeah, it's over.
That's the next step. It's easier at the time to bring everybody down with her
Yeah.
rather than look at what she's doing and take some responsibility and actually improve herself so she doesn't get herself in this kind of condition again.
Or so that she don't convince other people to get themselves in the predicament that she's in. And that's what I think is so different about older women who make bad decisions with their sex lives and their marital lives. Like, I don't know what it is about older women who make bad decisions with their sex lives when they're younger and with their marital lives, who just want to convince younger women to keep making the same decisions. It's just crazy to me. Like, when you talk to dudes who have ruined their lives by making bad decisions, they're never like, yeah, bro, you should do the same thing I did. But for some reason, when it comes to older women who make these decisions, they have this thing where they have to convince younger women to make the same mistakes they made.
I'm going to show you another video here.
I am honestly really sad right now, if you can tell. That's like the weirdest thing about grief is like, didn't cry for 2 days, was good for 2 days, and now I'm by myself, and it's just like the hurricane, like it's here again, you know? It's the tsunami is back. Like it's just so hard, and like I'm frustrated because I, got my whole world got disheveled. And I feel like he has moved on and he is healed and moved on
should.
and doesn't care about me, which I
Yeah.
don't want him to come back into my life.
He made a commitment and an oath to you and put his money where his mouth is by going to work to provide you a life because he thought that it was you and him against the world. And you decided because you're unhappy, you're going to go and get the government involved in your love life and use the government as an enforcement arm to extort his resources from him. That's a level you can't come back from. That's damn near treason. You're damn near a traitor. He shouldn't love you anymore. And I hope he out there living his best life.
It still just sucks, I can't imagine, thank you guys for sharing stuff, like stories that you've been, like you've gotten through this and it's been however many years, because I could not imagine that. I can't imagine being with someone for a really long time and going through this, Sorry if you can hear my cat literally playing in the background. Like, I was only with him for 4.5 years, 1 year married. I could not imagine, though, being with him for longer and this happening, but it's just so sad sometimes, and it's like so hard to have to learn how to do life by yourself again. Like, you don't have that person to call all the time or that best friend to go do things with. And that's what scares me. I've never truly been alone and worked on myself, and I'm terrified of it.
So she divorced her husband and then expected him to fight to get her back.
Yeah.
She doesn't want him. She just wants the validation that she gets from the attention he gives when he tries to get her back.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all she wants. She doesn't want him.
And when she tries to come back, just remember, she don't want to come back because she loves you. She want to come back because she realized the world doesn't love her. Yeah, because when you in a marriage and you a woman, you get a different leverage with your sex. You have sex with your husband, he start doing home projects, he start working a little harder, he start wanting to take you out on dates. When you out in the streets, your leverage ain't the same. You sleep with those dudes, and because they ain't got no commitment to you, they could just smash and dash. You do that a few times and you realize these dudes aren't obligated to stick around like your husband was, and you find out that the streets is cold. Why would he fight to get you back when he was already fighting to keep you? But obviously what he was doing wasn't enough. But it's okay though, because somebody will appreciate it.
What upsets her is that he's not doing that. Instead, he's moved on with his life.
Yeah.
I've noticed men are very good with this. Maybe not all, but a lot that I've seen, they move on. And that's the thing to do. And he does the right thing. He moves on. And it sucks for her because he moved on and she didn't. And so basically the only attention she can get is from people online. Mainly other women that have decided to do the same thing.
Yep, exactly.
And so she gets sympathy from them.
Yep.
She makes a video and cries and posts it, and it will get views. But a lot of times they expect the men to still try to make it work, even though they initiated the divorce. And 70% of divorces are initiated by women.
Yep.
They enjoy it when men give them this attention. They love it when they beg for them to take them back. And when they don't, when they see the men move on, especially when they marry somebody younger and hotter, oh, they are not happy about this. And unfortunately, you can't make a woman happy. You can add to it, but a woman's got to make herself happy.
Right.
And if she's putting it all on a guy or kids or something, then, hey, it doesn't work well.
Yeah, nigga, get a hobby. What happened to bird watchers? Like, we don't have any bird watchers anymore. Like, everybody thinks that now they're just going to be like doing political debates on TikTok and building parasocial relationships on TikTok. Go get a hobby. Maybe that'll fill the void. And I'm going to say this too, and this might be a crazy take, but man, if it wasn't for women being able to divorce their husband and still get 50% of everything, it would be a lot easier for these dudes to move on. A lot of the times when I see dudes ruined, it's because they worked for 30 years building up this 401k and paying off this house and doing all these other things just for their family to be separated. They don't get to see their kids anymore, and then they lose half their money. I personally think, forget all that irreconcilable differences stuff. If you file for divorce and you can't prove that your husband was physically abusing you or habitually cheating on you, then you shouldn't get anything. I bet you'd see a lot less divorces if that was the case. And if these women wanted to leave to prioritize their own happiness, if the guys got to see their kids and keep their houses and their money, I'm sure they'd be a lot more okay with it.
I think we as women, we don't need to validate ourselves by crying and making these crying videos and try to get sympathy from people. I think we can do better, and I think we're a lot better than that. So that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah.
This one is called Why Some Women Are Admitting Divorce Regret, and this is by T Red. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Let me know in the comments below if this video was a W or L, and give me the HBO special. That's a Help Brother Out special. Hit the like and the subscribe button for more content. Till next time.